What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Marcus Washington, and you're on the mark where we talk everything Falcons football. Man, how y'all doing tonight? It has been raining all damn day, fam, and I mean all damn day. So it's kept your boy in the house a bit lazy, lethargic, sluggish. But it also gave me time to go through the quarterback landscape and things that have transpired over the last couple of days. Week and a half ago, it was Justin Fields. People were for sure that Justin Fields was going to be an Atlanta Falcon. That might still happen. But then another quarterback emerges in Kirk Cousins. So now, as of today, let me read this. It says various high-profile media members have started to prop up Cousins as the likely signal caller for Atlanta in 2024. And that momentum has been reflected on his next team odds. Kirk Cousins is now the odds-on favorite to join the Falcons in free agency at minus 225, according to DraftKings on March 5th. Now, some fans don't like this at all. At all. Absolutely hate it. But then another bombshell happens a couple of days ago. Up there in Denver, they release Russell Wilson as the quarterback, taking on $80+ million in dead cap space. $80+ million. That's double what we had for Matt Ryan. When that happened, I said to myself, the talks about Justin Fields are pretty much nil at this point. Because if you can't get Kirk Cousins, who apparently behind the scenes, there have been talks, and even Kevin O'Connell, he kind of alluded to this at the Combine. We know GMs ain't supposed to be talking like that, but they do. That's like an open secret. Like GMs talk to each other at the Combine. And it makes sense because, you know, if you got a deal brewing or you're talking in the Combine, you want to make sure that deal is solid come the legal tampering period. That's why you hear news so quick. Them conversations didn't take place that morning. They was working that deal for 2 weeks. So when the ESPN is like, the legal tampering period has started, oh, this just in. They've been talking. So there's no doubt in my mind that we've already reached out. It's at bare minimum Kirk Cousins' agent. Because some people are saying, you know, Kirk Cousins is playing the business side of it. But we already know Minnesota's tired of giving this man fully guaranteed contracts. On the same vein, with the fact that Russell Wilson got released, Minnesota could look at that too. Like, man, we don't have to give up no draft capital. That's a league minimum salary. Because Russ is getting paid $39 million this year, regardless of where he is. Now, to me, it's dumb on Denver. You gave up all that capital. You gave up players to get Russell Wilson. Then you extended him to a new contract, which you didn't have to do because he still had 2 years left on his old contract. But I guess the bright side is, hey, you save $37 million next year. So if Minnesota's probably looking at, hey, if Kirk Cousins is going to walk, we need to make a quick move to get Russell Wilson. So So it wouldn't surprise me if two things happen. I do believe that Atlanta is very interested because, again, if this was just Kirk Cousins playing a team against each other, you need the other team to participate in that too. If Atlanta was not interested, we know under Terry Fontenot's watch, we know this team is very quick to let you know they're not interested. I think this team is very interested. Now, some people say it might be a smokescreen. They might be telling you that they're interested in Kirk Cousins and then trade for Justin Fields. That could possibly happen. But then again, Russell Wilson became available. So these are two guys that you don't have to give up no draft capital for. You just got to sign them. One guy, you may be all in on, but you're going to have to pay him. The other guy, you're going to get at a league minimum. But here's the thing. He's going to want money. So this makes it interesting. Either way it goes, I think Justin Fields is probably out on this. I think the Justin Fields talk, unless this is a bait and switch and Atlanta's all in on Justin Fields, I don't see that happening now. A lot of people aren't happy about this Kirk Cousins talk. A lot of people aren't. But, like I said, based on the coach that we hired, based on the offensive coordinator we hired, based on where they come from, based on what tree they come from, Justin Fields, you can't really run that type of offense with Justin Fields. It's not impossible. You could, in theory, but you'd have to make some adjustments. And then again, this is a quarterback who literally has to come in and learn new verbiage and everything. Not saying it can't happen. It could. But getting Kirk Cousins, you don't have to do a damn thing. He fits right in. Even with Russ, Sean Payton doesn't really run that same kind of offense. But then again, Sean Payton never wanted Russell Wilson to begin with. So, interesting. What I got queued up for you guys today, hopefully I don't get my stream knocked down. I probably won't. Is we're gonna do the Rich Eisen one first. Let me go ahead and put this up. So I haven't seen this one. I don't think he's necessarily talking about the Falcons, but it's more or less, Kirk Cousins' decision on what he wants to do, because see, Minnesota can't do a damn thing about this. They can't franchise tag him. Atlanta can offer him a contract or offer him a deal, and Minnesota can match, but that doesn't mean that Kirk Cousins will go back to them. He could actually come to us for less money. It's all based on where Kirk Cousins wants to play football. And with Mike Evans signing back down in Tampa Bay, Baker Mayfield's probably going to stay put there. So a lot of these teams are running out of quarterback options. They've been pointing Russell Wilson in the way of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Chad Ochocinco's been talking about that for a while. But you got Kenny Pickett there. So I think Russ wants to be somewhere next year where he's the guy. He's not competing. He is the quarterback from first game to the last game of the season. He wants to be that guy. So Again, when I look at Pittsburgh, damn good fit, but I mean, you got Kenny Pickett there. What are you really saying if you put Russell there? So to me, that's why I think if Minnesota can't re-sign Kirk Cousins, they are going to make a stab at Russell Wilson almost immediately. And then this puts the Bears in a very, very interesting position. Because let's just play hypotheticals. Atlanta gets Kirk. Russ goes to Minnesota. Who you trading Justin Fields to? Maybe Denver. But I mean, Denver just got off all that draft capital for Russ 2 years ago. And is Justin Fields the type of quarterback that Sean Payton wants? He just got off of Russell Wilson. So what other team could you think that Justin will go to? Maybe the Steelers, but then at that point, again, what are you saying to Kenny Pickett? Because mind you, you're going to have to trade and pay Justin Fields. So Chicago finds themselves in a position. This, to me, bodes well for us. Because we benefit no matter what. This drop, to me, with Russell out on the free market and then Kirk going to the free market, Atlanta could, if Atlanta really wanted Justin Fields, we can lowball the hell out of Chicago. Oh, a second rounder is off the table now. I'm not even giving you a second for Justin. Let me get to some of these comments, fam. How are y'all doing tonight, man? I hope y'all are doing good. Monica says, good evening. Good evening to you, Monica. 3 Dirty, what's happening? He says, Marcus, get it in. How was Dune? People that know me know I'm a movie fan, right? Dune was good. Dune was very overhyped. I'm just telling y'all my personal opinion about this. Dune was a good movie, but my God, they overhyped this to the high hells. They made it seem like this was the greatest movie in cinematic history. It's not. It's a good film. I prefer the first one better. That's just my opinion. But for, people to call this a masterpiece, no. They could have easily cut about a half hour off this movie. And I'm not going to lie, I almost dozed off in like the first 25 minutes. And I was awake when I went in there. I was anticipating that movie. But it's good nonetheless. It's not a masterpiece. What's going on, RJ? What's happening? Charles said, boy, these folks are absolutely losing their minds over these cousin talks. Yeah, as expected. Millie Mill, what's happening, bruh? Nendo says, what's good, Mark? I'm not on the Cousins train and draft me 2 QBs. I wouldn't mind Musa HBU and another QB in this draft. Okay. Bowski, what's going on, fam? He says 85 million dead cap is crazy. It's insane. It is. I think I can say this and be safe in saying this. I don't think no other team in the history of the NFL is going to top that dead cap hit. I just don't believe it. I think Denver set the bar. No other team is going to come close to 85 in dead cap. Not for one player. No way. Jonto, what's happening? Mitch says, what's up, Mark? I think the Vikings are going for Russell. Only makes sense. Yeah, a year rental. You're getting him at and really, it bodes well for Russell, too, when you look at it. Russell's got weapons. He's got Addison there. He's got, what's their tight end's name? That boy's a beast, too. Is it Hawkinson? Is it TJ Hawkinson? They got Jefferson there. So he's got some things to work with. My thing would be, how would he flourish in that type of offense? But I think Russ would be a good fit for at least a year. Jeff says Kirk's wife is from Atlanta, so that makes it interesting. Yeah, we're gonna play 2 videos. Mark Florio definitely said some very interesting things about this situation, so we'll get on that too. Keona says, "What up, my brother? Things change so quick. That's how they do in the off season, fam. That's why I love it so much." Millie says, "Only way Justin Fields comes here now is if the Justin Fields deal is already done." Here's the thing though. They can't legally make any deals right now. They can't even talk. You can't tamper right now. So no deal. They can't make any concrete deals like right now. So that's why you heard, our front office basically say we can't even talk about players right now. He's under contract. So they definitely can't have a deal already in place, even though, listen, fam, they talking. They're not supposed to talk, but they're talking. Do Dirty Bird. My bad, I'm messing up your whole name. The Dirty Bird Gang podcast. What's happening? He says Russ with Arthur Smith. Ain't it? Shoot, it's not gonna be with Pickett either. Okay. Martavia says, "What's up, fam?" Birdie comes back again and he says Vegas is still interested in Fields too. That could be a move. That could be a move. Because you can't trust either quarterback in Vegas right now at all. Porn star Jimmy, you can't trust because he can't stay healthy. And the other guy that they got there, I don't think they trust him either. Millie says Las Vegas might be interested in Justin Fields if Chicago has no other choice. Yeah, but again, any situation, Justin Fields, his stock is dropping by the day. So if they thought they were going to get a number 1 for Justin, that was already out. Now I'm looking at a second. Man, that second might be out because we know Chicago's desperate at this point. So why would I give you a second at this point? Especially from Atlanta. You come talking back to me and we in pole position to get Kirk Cousins, and maybe we were always on the Kirk Cousins bandwagon, and you say, "Hey man, let's make a deal." I'll give you a 3rd rounder for him. A 3rd and what? That's it. I'm going to give you a 3rd rounder for him. Nah, I got to have more than that. I can't help you. And I think Russell Wilson being released absolutely gutted Justin Fields' stock. Because why would you go Justin Fields over Russell Wilson? It's a sweetheart deal for a year. Sweetheart deal. Denver's picking up the tab for this year. Super Bowl champion. Went to the Super Bowl twice. Career in Seattle is already cemented. And he's got more accolades than Justin Fields. So the what I'm looking at is this sweetheart deal. I got to pay this guy league minimum? A Super Bowl champ for a year? Sign me up. Other guy got to trade and pay. Monica says, shit, they got that Walmart money. TA says, Mark, you should copyright standing on logo business. That's your brand, bro. Now, I'm not going, you know what? That might be a good idea. But people know where that come from, though. So I ain't really worried about nobody else taking it. People know where that come from. That's from my Facebook days. So you hear somebody else pumping their chest talking about they stand on logo business. Y'all know where you got that from. He or she. Y'all already know. But I might look into that though. I might look into that. Millie says, how long they gonna be paying that $85 million off? They might spread it over 2 years, man. That's just a huge hit. They'll probably spread that over 2, maybe 3 years. It's a huge ass hit though, man. But you take into consideration they're gonna get $37 million back next year. Yeah. Zay, what's happening? He says, T.A. Williams, I swear to God, I see that everywhere I go. Now, see what I mean? Listen, I don't mind it. As a Falcon fan, you should stand on logo business. I bet not hear no other fan base talk. You know what? I might have to copyright that. I don't want nobody in Cincinnati talking about we stand on logo business. Nah, yeah, you know what? I might have to copyright that. I just might have to. I'm gonna have to pull a Dion. I'm gonna have to copyright that. Millie says Buffalo just did it yesterday, Mark. They announced some linemen getting traded to Chicago for a fifth. And didn't they just they franchise tagged Josh Allen, didn't they? Out there in Buffalo. So they took him off the board. Artavia says, did you get my message about Jordan Travis? No, I did not, sir. Hold on. Let me look for it. Let me not tell no lies. No, I did not. Send it to me again, fam. So what we're gonna do now, we'll go ahead and dive into this. It's short as hell too. It's 2 minutes and 22 seconds long. I should have pulled up a longer clip, but let's get into it. Let's see what they got to say.
This question in a sports talk radio way. You can only choose one. Kirk Cousins is back with Minnesota. Justin Jefferson is back with Minnesota. They're both back with Minnesota. Neither's back with Minnesota. How do you see that?
Justin Jefferson is back with Minnesota. I could just tell you what the head coach, Kevin O'Connell, and the GM, Kwesi Adofo-Mensah, think of him. They believe he is one of one, that there is not another receiver like him. He's still only 24. So whoever their long-term quarterback is can benefit from him. He's got 7 or 8 years maybe left in his prime. I think it's going to be tough to get a deal done because the cap going up means the numbers are going to go up, right? So are you talking about paying him what, say, Nick Bosa got for the Niners? And we're talking about getting like well into the 30s now. That's something that the Vikings are going to have to reckon with. But I think ultimately they will find a way to get something done. With Cousins, I'm a lot less certain because it's been made clear to Cousins people that they're not going to go down the road they did twice already, which is the fully guaranteed road. And so I think he's going to have value in the market. I think Kevin O'Connell and Kwesi want to bring him back, and that's the idea, is to bring him back. How far are they willing to go financially to do it? And if they aren't willing to meet his number, is somebody else going to meet his number? And I think Kirk's a really good quarterback. I think Kirk is by far the best option out there for teams in the market. And I think for someone, maybe this is Atlanta, maybe this is Vegas, it's the teams we've talked about that have openings. Can he be Alex Smith in Kansas City for you? You know what I mean? If you got a new head coach, can he be the guy who can get you up to a competitive level right away and then buy you time to find the next guy? I think he can be. Again, pending what you think of his Achilles injury and the medicals and all of that. Like, I think he very much can be. So I think that's the model somebody would be looking for with Kirk Cousins, is what Alex Smith was for Andy Reid in Kansas City. And because of that, I sort of feel like somebody is going to go the extra mile to get him. And then maybe a month from now, we're talking about Minnesota trying to trade up to get a quarterback in the draft.
Catch the Rich Eisen show every
All
single
right, so
day.
that
on
was
the
very
Roku
short.
channel, 12 to 3 Eastern for free. And
the problem with Minnesota going up, they have to go up a steep hill to get a quarterback. It's pretty damn steep. And I don't think they'll be able to do it. The route of least resistance is to, if you know that Kirk Cousins is not coming back, or you don't want to give Kirk Cousins the money, which we already know, like that's already been talked about. They don't want to give him another fully guaranteed contract because they've been doing that for 6 fucking years. You know, so they're off on that. So to me, I'm not trading all the way up. I'm not doing that. I'm gonna get Russell Wilson for a year and then see what I can get later on down the road. But I'm not jumping, because you got to jump up to damn near top 3, top 4. Or hope one of these guys fall in your lap. That's what you got to do. So to me, Minnesota's, but then again, you got to look at this too, because the same way Minnesota's looking at it, Vegas is looking at it. Well, hell, he can come over here, throw the ball to Devontae Adams. You know, we got some guys over here too now. But again, Russ can go wherever the hell he wants to. Zay says, Mark, if you're the GM right now, what is your plan for the QB? I've already laid it out. At this point, seeing what the market is, man, you know, it's Russell Wilson looks enticing just because of the money. For that first year, he looks enticing. But I don't think Russ is going anywhere. And it's just business. I don't think Russ is going anywhere unless there's a bag attached to it. So Russ might be like, yeah, y'all can get me for this first year. But why would he care about the first year? He's getting paid $39 million. But that second, third, he's already said he wants to play, I think, for like another 4 years and win 2 Super Bowls. So at minimum, he wants 4. So you're going to have to give him another bag. Now, would it make sense for Atlanta to do that? Possibly. You're going to have to pay Kirk too. And last year, before they sat Russ down, I think Russ was, what was his numbers? He was 28. He was 25 touchdowns to 8 picks, I think. Russ has never went over 13 interceptions in his entire career. It's a pretty tempting. That's why I said it kind of changed the pendulum a little bit, because it's like Justin Fields to me is off the table now. But if I'm not gonna lie to you, fam, that is intriguing. But I know your boy Russ wants to get papered up no matter where he goes. So he's gonna give you the first year on the house. But really, it ain't on the house. Denver paying for it. And I will tell you this, I ain't paying Russ no $39 million a year. So if that first year is minimum salary, brother, I ain't papering you up for another. No, I can't do it. But let's say it was a survivable contract. You run into the same thing as, how does he fit this offensive scheme? I think the reason why they're dialed in on Kirk Cousins, if I'm being honest, is because they were dialed in on Kirk Cousins when they hired Raheem Morris. Raheem Morris had a plan that blew them away. Because what you saw is he went and picked up Zach Robinson. He went and picked up Jimmy Lake from the Rams. Zach Robinson's going to run that same offense that McVay's been out there wheeling and dealing. Kevin O'Connell's been out there wheeling and dealing. It comes down to like football, really. Do you trust Russ to run that type of offense? Or do you trust a guy like Kirk Cousins? Russ definitely has a lot of stuff going for him. I'll give him that. We basically got a free trial for the first year. You know how when you when they try to sell you on a cell phone and they say, hey, listen, you know, how much are you paying for your cell phone right now? Well, I mean, unlimited, I'm paying like $150. Hey, listen, this is what I can do for you. I can get you a brand new phone. I can get you internet for what you're paying right now. Let's look at the numbers. Look, free phone. You don't even have to worry about it. Brand new phone, internet for the house, and unlimited. I can get you inside of 140. Who ain't gonna take that deal? Even if you only got like $600 left on your phone, you be like, damn, man, that does sound enticing. This is what Russell Wilson said. It sounds enticing. But again, I believe that this was their plan from the door. So do you blow up that plan and get with Russ because it's so enticing? Or do you stick with your original game plan? To me, I'd stick with the original game plan. But Russ sounds enticing as hell. I'm not even gonna front. Before he didn't, because I'm like, you gotta put draft capital in that. But now that they released him, it's like, ooh, I get to keep my draft picks. Let me kick the tires over here a little bit. I'm pretty sure Atlanta's probably talked about this today. But I would stick with my original. Jonathan Bell says, Captain Kirk to Atlanta, I'm telling you. All right. Ryan says, get Russ and we can build our team to a super team with the savings. Yeah. Him being released really changes a lot of stuff. Martavia says, I wanted to know if we do sign Kirk for 2 years, and if Jordan Travis is still available, would you take a chance on him? I know he's coming off an injury, but he'll have time to learn from Kirk. It really doesn't matter what QB. I still think Atlanta needs to draft a QB. And whatever quarterback we get, you draft a QB and you sit him and actually allow him to learn the game. Or for Desmond Ridder fans, Des sits on his ass and learns the game, which he should have done. I think it benefits Desmond Ridder too if we keep him. But I honestly believe this team don't believe in Desmond Ridder. But in the same breath, they might be like, okay, we can sit this kid down for a year and allow him to learn the game. Zigzag says I'm late. God damn it, Zigzag. God damn it. Keona says if we get Cousins, Drake London's going to have at least 1,300 yards. All our playmakers, I would say both Drake and Kyle Pitts probably go over 1,000. Or one of them gets 1,000 and gets 1,000 plus, and the other gets close to it. Antonio, what's going on? He says it's too much of a gamble on Cousins. He won't even be a year removed from an ACL injury, and that type of injury needs time to heal completely. Get physical therapy is not gameplay. Well, here's the thing, though, Antonio. We've seen guys like Adrian Peterson take a serious knee injury. I think he had 2 injuries that year and then came back the very next year and won the MVP. And running back is a lot more physical than a quarterback. Especially with the advent of technology these days, man, we're seeing guys come back in stupid time now. So it is a gamble. I'll agree with you 100%. It's a gamble. But sometimes gambles pay off. Then, sometimes you're lying to the wife when you get to the house. Travis says trade for Fields and draft Dallas Turner at 8, or sign Russ and draft the QB. That's another way you can go with it too, man. You can sign Russ, draft a QB at 8, maybe. All this benefits Atlanta. That's all I'm saying. Atlanta is in a great position right now. Carlos says, if Russ comes, he's got real life motivation to show raw naked ass. Hey, keep him away from Magic City. We don't need none of that lemon pepper wing residue on Russell Wilson's fingers on Sunday. Mitch said that cell phone reference, spot the fuck on, I'm crying real tears. Yeah, man. Hey, I just keep pushing. I keep pushing. Man, when you go into Walmart, they stop you like cops. And they get right into the spill. Hey, how are you doing? What service you got? No, I'm good. I keep walking. I don't even stop. I just keep pushing because the minute you stop, your ass is in trouble. Now you got to try to politely get your way out of that conversation. But I will admit though, I got caught up in the phone I got now. Got caught up in that. I was getting my my internet hooked up in the house. Bro, they sent a person out here to sales pitch me. And I'll be damned, next thing I know, I got a brand new goddamn I got a brand new phone. I'm like, how the hell that happened? But I am saving money though. Antonio says, laughing my ass off to the line. Why? Yeah, you lose money, you come home. Where you been at? I was out with the boys, What's wrong with you? Nothing. I just need to take a shower and go to sleep. Whoa. You weren't at that dice game, were you? I went over there. How much you lose? Man, wasn't a lot, man. How much you lose? $700. What? I lost $700. You getting your ass whooped. Man, you out there shooting dice like Ashley Larry, and then came up snake eyes and lost the rent money. Man, you better not. You might as well not even go home. You better get in the car and DoorDash your way back to that rent money. Millie Mill says, Mark, we got to stop putting a Band-Aid over the wound. Stitch it the fuck up and let it heal. Terry, get us a QB who's going to be here and produce. I don't give a fuck who it is. Stop the damn bleeding. Stop it. I agree with you. Whoever they get, man, it's definitely going to be the way I look at it, man. We have to get to the playoffs. I don't care who we get. We have to get to the playoffs. So let's get into this video right here. I don't think I've seen this one. It might be another one that I've seen. But Mike Florio was on the Pat McAfee show, talking about, Kirk Cousins to the Falcons. He's been talking about this for a minute now. So let's go ahead and get into it.
Especially in this modern day, there's a lot of people that go, what the hell does this guy know? Yeah, right.
He doesn't know.
Right. They forget that although you're Italian and you age wonderfully, you have been doing this a very long time. The big news that I saw this reaction to was whenever you put out a tweet, and I assume a post on ProFootballTalk.com or NBCSports.com, now Pro Football Talk, we're picking up very credible indications that Kirk Cousins is planning a potential move of his family from Minnesota to Atlanta. Obviously, that is massive because Kirk Cousins, free agent quarterback, Atlanta.
Now, let me pause this right here. I just want to address this. Most times when you see a player put a house on the market or they're looking at schools, 9 times out of 10, they're leaving. This happened with Tom Brady. Look at Russell Wilson. Just happened with Russell Wilson. Before they released him, they had put their house up on the market. When LeBron James left Miami to go to L.A., or left the Cavs to go to L.A. I'm sorry. He did it in Miami too, but it was more secretive. When they lost in the finals, that's the first thing you heard about LeBron James. And the next thing you know, he's gone. So usually when I see stuff like that, it's not an absolute, but it is a key damn indicator. When folks is looking for real estate in schools in another city, they're not staying. So whether he comes to us or somewhere else, when I see things like, yeah, we're looking for a house, they were reportedly looking for a house here, or they went and looked at schools there. Oh yeah, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. They ain't staying.
potentially looking for a quarterback, need a quarterback. So everybody puts one and two things together. Kirk Cousins got the Atlanta Falcons. They're going to pay him very good money. Now, we are acting as if what you were saying, because we know you very well, and we acknowledge your, being in the, we acknowledge the Mike Florio information and connection in this entire thing. Is this real? How real is this? And what does that mean whenever you put that tweet out? Because I'm putting Russell Wilson in Minnesota now because Kirk is in Atlanta. That's what happens whenever one of those tweets take place. You need to know that with a rambunctious Irish 0.01% Italian man who has a daily show who follows along with your Twitter account, pal. And I'm not the only one.
And look, I'll peel back the curtain a little bit. When you do this 23 years, you get to know a lot of people, both in and out of the business. We get emails, we get tips, we get clues, we get things all the time. And a lot of times what happens is you get a tip from somebody and it seems credible. You run it by somebody you know in an effort to see whether or not it's real or whether or not it's BS. And you start to build a sense and an indication. And what we wrote yesterday, and I spoke a little bit more about it on our morning show, PFT Live. I mean, you got things coming back to me that I confirm from people who would know that there's an effort to look for maybe schools for the kids, house for the family, up to and including, I haven't confirmed this part yet, but it's just one of those little things that makes sense. Talking to the guy who currently wears number 8, Kyle Pitts, about getting number 8 before any of this stuff is done.
So when you're hearing this, you're just hearing this from people that.
Now, let me pause this. Now, y'all remember a couple years ago, Kyle Pitts put up a tweet that he immediately took down. This was when Deshaun Watson was in play. And I think this was a day before Cleveland made that just ridiculous ass move to acquire him. He put up a tweet and he said, "Scary hours." Let me see if I can find that real quick. I'm gonna let the rest of this play, but I'm gonna see if I can find that tweet. He said this, pretty much indicating that Deshaun Watson was in the damn building. And then the very next day, Deshaun Watson signs that massive ass contract.
That are in the know at the time.
Here's what happens. In this case, and I got to be careful because I can't disclose names, but you have very loyal readers of the site who, when they find something out, however they find it out, they want to share it with you. So then you get it and you vet it through people who know. And then the end result is, holy shit, that tip was right. Holy crap, this stuff is happening. And so,
and that's why you're hated. And that's why some people get very mad when Florio potentially gets something.
Oh, I mean, look, I think people get mad because they don't want bad news about their team. So there's a knee-jerk reaction to dismiss anything that you don't want to hear. What a shock in this day and age. We hear something we don't want to hear, and we say it's bullshit.
We were just talking about this with Bill Burr. Bill Burr agrees with you, by the way. Yeah, there's a whole conversation.
So it's our own way of staying in our silo. We stay in our teepee. We stay with our tribe. We just say and do whatever we believe. And when we hear something that goes against it, they're full of shit. It's fake news. It's baloney. It's whatever. So I get it. I understand it. But sometimes it pisses me off because it's like, if I was going to make stuff up, it'd be a hell of a lot more interesting than the stuff that you say. Trust me. It'd be a hell of a lot more interesting.
You're a good author. We father of mine, obviously available right now.
Well done.
Incredible book.
$3.99 now for the ebook.
Let's go. Hey, well done by you, too. Good promo.
We got some, as you would say, up to something with maybe a little movie.
TV
show. Up to something season, baby.
No, so let me tell you how up to something season works. Okay, you don't say what it is.
Oh, well, shit.
It's like
I'm learning.
I'm up to something, but when you say I'm up to something, what you're initially up to might evolve.
Yeah.
So whenever you go movie, what if it's a series now?
It could be neither. Likely neither, but at least you're in the game a little bit.
But
you learn a lot about it. It's not an easy game, but I'm learning a little about it.
But you're definitely up to something. You're up to something, which we appreciate. So let's talk about potential other things that could take place, and you can debunk if it is a detractor to the Kirk Cousins to Atlanta thing. Is there a chance, though, that maybe he has multiple suitors currently, and he's checking other cities' places too to kind of see what it would cost to live there, what the schooling would look like? Like, is there a chance he is potentially looking into it, but not necessarily the conclusion that I jumped to immediately upon reading your tweet? Like, that means he's going to Atlanta. Like, have you had any other conversations with people about like Atlanta's interest in Kirk? And what do you sense that is? Because from outside looking in, would make sense seemingly for both parties.
Right. And remember when he was a free agent in 2018, 6 years younger and completely healthy. There were two teams, the Vikings and the Jets. So it's not like there was a land rush the last time Kirk Cousins was a free agent. Now that he's going to be available again, and there's nothing the Vikings can do to stop it, they can't tag him today. The contract is constructed. He is going to the market. I believe, and again, I got to be careful about stuff that's off the record, on the record, and I don't want to burn any relationships, but I'll tell you this. Friday before the Super Bowl, Kirk Cousins was on PFT Live. Our set was right next to yours at Radio Row. After we interviewed Kirk Cousins and KJ Osborne together, and you talk to people ahead of time, you talk to people afterward. My wife's talking to Julie Cousins, Mrs. Cousins. And I'm hanging around for some of the conversation, and I pick some things up in that conversation. And I come away from all of it thinking it's Minnesota or it's Atlanta. She's from the area. Her parents live there. It's Minnesota or Atlanta. And I got the sense, and I don't think I'm talking out of school here, I got the sense that maybe there was a little frustration that, you know, the Vikings have had a long time to try to work out a deal with Kirk. And you get to a certain point where you F around and find out. And you let it go too far down the tracks. And even if the Vikings will say, oh, wait, the Falcons are paying you that, we'll match it.
Now, let me pause this here real quick, because early on this year, there were reports that, you know, Kirk could possibly get traded. This was before the season started. So Minnesota has let Kirk know very early on, we're not trying to pay you fully guaranteed money. We're just not. You know, you've had 6 years of fully guaranteed money here. And we just don't think we can do it again. And Kurt, being the business guy that he is, if you ain't gonna pay me, I'm gonna find this money elsewhere. You know, so again, this isn't something that just popped up, and the proof is in the pudding. They haven't did anything with Kirk Cousins, and they're letting this stuff fester. So if I'm Kirk Cousins, and again, there was a series on Netflix. I think it was Mariota, it was Kirk, and it was Patrick Mahomes. I think the boy up out of there. That's just my take. The boy up out of there. Whether he comes here or elsewhere, I think he up out of there.
There's a chance they're going to say, sorry, had your chance. They're showing us love, right?
Interesting.
You're just showing a begrudging willingness to match what we were able to get from somebody who really wants us. So we're going to go to the place where we think they really want us. They're risking that. The Vikings are risking that in not getting this done when they had the exclusive ability to do it. Pretty soon they don't.
I can understand where you're coming from. And I think from watching quarterback, Kirk loves Minnesota.
Yep.
And from the way it's being talked about from the Minnesota Vikings side, they would love to have Kirk Cousins back as well. And you bring up Mrs. Cousins. She's cool. Hey, we got a chance to chat with her at that quarterback premiere for Netflix.
Yeah.
You remember we just stumbled into that. I have no idea how we ended up at that. Just so happened to be at the right place and like, hey, do you want to go do this?
Yep.
Yeah, kind of do. Walked in there, Mahomes, Kelsey, it's quarterback premiere at Netflix. It was the dumbest thing. Blue carpet? Was it a blue carpet?
Yeah, it was something like that.
Something like that. Yeah,
Change
that was
up.
a quarter. 70, 80 milligrams.
Oh, it was hilarious.
70, 80 milligrams. Had no idea that I was going to this thing.
Yep.
Like, and then found out it's happening. It's like, well, we've already come too far.
A million photographers there.
we are all the way gone, but got a chance to chat with Mrs. Cousins, Georgia Bulldog.
Yep.
Like that, you say coming down the tracks there. I mean, that remind me of the Call of the Dogs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's like Georgia, that is a tie. I completely forgot about that being a family situation potentially down there for Kirk.
All right, so that was that. Let me take this off my screen and put my music back on. So yeah, Mike Florio is, pretty much putting the puzzle pieces together. And asking a guy for his number, allegedly. Again, I think these conversations happen all the time. They're not supposed to, but who the fuck abides by the rules in any professional sport these days? Who? So Kyle Pitts posted a tweet on the 17th of March that said it's about to get scary in Atlanta, right? Matter of fact, let me share my screen real quick so I can show you guys this. So this is what Kyle Pitts put up on the 17th, that it's about to get scary in Atlanta. So this ain't the first time your boy Kyle Pitts. This is why I'm like, yeah, man, the tea leaves are here. And at this point, we had Deshaun Watson. At this point, we had him. So it says Atlanta Falcons tight end Kyle Pitts tweeted about how scary it's about to be, and since it's deleted the tweet. The Falcons have been aggressive in acquiring Houston Texans quarterback Deshaun Watson. That's why in that first press conference, after the season was over with, between Arthur Blank and Rich McKay, when they said that they were just kicking tires, it's absolute bullshit. They should straight up lie to the media and the fan base, because we knew what the deal was. Deshaun Watson was already here. And then literally, let me see if I can go over here. Let me pull this up real quick. So that was on the 17th. We'll stop the screen and let me pull this up. Three days later, he was traded to the Cleveland Browns. 3 days later. So, and remember, Cleveland was already out of the Deshaun Watson sweepstakes. He had already told Cleveland he had no interest in going there. None. So when I look at stuff like that, and then I look at, situations like this, now this could be a smokescreen for Kirk Cousins, the Atlanta Falcons. I don't know, but I have not heard anybody from Atlanta just come out and just strike this down and say this is absolutely not. I don't know where the hell y'all hearing this from. Now, there might have been a press conference I might have missed where maybe somebody from the Falcons brass said that, but yeah, Wallace, what's happening, man? What's happening? Oh, he said, what's happening to Antonio? Oh, he said, what's happening to me too? What's going on, man? What's going on? We're just touching on the quarterback conundrum we got here. That's all we're talking about. Now, in closing, do I think Kirk Cousins is going to end up here? My gut is telling me yeah. And the reason why my gut is telling me yeah is because I feel like when Raheem Morris got hired, they had already laid out the game plan here. I don't think he got hired and then all of a sudden Kirk Cousins just one day popped up in a conversation. And they were like, oh yeah, we should go with him. I think that was their whole plan all along. So I'm leaning, I'm about 90% there that this is the way that Atlanta, because you gotta remember the news, fam. When the talk was going towards Justin Fields, this shit leaked about Kirk Cousins was always tied to us, but it seemed like when it looked like that Justin Fields momentum was getting hot, all of a sudden Kirk Cousins comes up and it's like, hey, this is who Atlanta was always gunning for. And it pretty much shut down the Justin Fields talk for a couple of days, and then Russell Wilson gets released, and then it's like, oh, I can't see how Atlanta does that. It would shock me now if Atlanta trades to get Justin Fields. Q says if Kirk comes to the A, he better be getting stem cell therapy and get ready for a playoff run. The only thing I'm really concerned about is the injury. I really am. If he's ready week 1, I'm okay. Which, you know, his timeline should be right around there for week 1. So I'm cool with that. Wallace says, yeah, Mark, everybody is all over the place with this QB stuff. Yeah, well, we know for sure. Mark your calendars. March 11th, a lot of this gonna get exposed quick. They're not gonna fuck around on the 11th. When the legal tampering period starts, and it ain't just with quarterbacks. Because again, you got some running backs that haven't gotten the franchise tag put on them. They could potentially be free agents. Man, you got a lot of movement that's going to happen. And I think Atlanta going to be in the mix early. Rob Bates, what's happening? He says, this is the most exciting news and buzz around Atlanta in a long time. We're on the brink of something special next season. Yeah. Y'all know for a while our off seasons have been boring as hell. They've been boring, almost non-existent. Man, just straight up boring. We'll get a signing every now and then. We're like, like, I would say last year was a pretty good off season because we started making splash. Remember, fam, we started making splashes early. We didn't wait. We were shooting bullets immediately. So again, you look at patterns from, general managers and head coaches. You start looking at patterns and you're able to predict stuff. People be calling me Negro Domus. I didn't name myself that. That name was bestowed upon me. But a lot of it is just looking at patterns and movements. So when I go off and say something that might sound like ridiculous, it's really just me looking at patterns. Me looking at Kyle Pitts the first year, Drake London the second year, Bijan the third year. I had already assessed that these moves were Arthur Smith moves. And in the offseason, that was Terry Fontenot stuff. So it's just patterns. And if we're going by patterns, Terry emptying the clip. March 11th, whatever quarterback they going for, they showing their hand. And it wouldn't shock me if a wide receiver was in the deal somewhere too. Q says, the beauty of the situation is that we got hella options and we know Terry's going to cook. Yeah, man, regardless of how you feel on what quarterback we get, man, just know we are in a great position. Our roster is decent, as is. Salary cap, we got it. Ain't nobody's contract breaking us right now. Draft capital, we got it. And to be quite honest, this team should have won 10 games last season and the season before. With poor quarterback play, we still should have came away with 10 games. Country says, I was hearing that we was going to get Justin Fields one at the draft. Again, this is what I love about the offseason, fam. Man, you hear one thing one day and then the wind blows and it's something else. So again, you know, last week there were a lot of people that were on the Justin Fields ban. We did a video about it. And now it seems like Justin Fields is out there in the wind now. Keona says, if we get Cousins, can we give him a 2-year deal or what? That's probably what they'll start out with. It'll probably be a 2-year deal. If I were Terry Fontenot, I mean, that's what they had been doing in Minnesota. You know, two-year deal, fully guaranteed. And we move on. Devin says, I'm sure Kurt will be a good start. Meanwhile, Fields has yet to play a full season. Also, either give up potential good draft capital or a little bit of bread. Well, hell, with Justin Fields, you're giving up both. You're going to give up draft capital and you're going to have to extend that boy. So my thing is, it's not really the money, it's the draft capital. I don't want to give up none of that. And if I'm giving up draft capital, it better be for a damn stud. Red Swarm says, facts, Mark, last year's free agency period was fire for us. Jesse Bates, Calais Campbell, and Onyemata signing was the ish. Yeah. And Terry ain't waste no time. Terry did not waste no time. I mean, you turn around, there was just news back to back. Wallace says, I still think the Bears are going to trade their first-round pick to get more draft capital because they only have 4 draft picks after trading their 5th-round pick today to the Bills for an offensive tackle. Man, it's going to be interesting to see what the Bears do. You know, honestly, if they can't get off of Justin Fields, which I think they'll be able to. I just don't think they're going to get what they expected to get from Justin Fields. And again, Russell Wilson being released, one of these teams is out on Justin Fields. Minimum. One of them is, because Russ out here. Now you can argue Russ still being with the Broncos, you got to give up a little trade capital to get him too. But now it's like no draft capital, minimum salary for the first year. Holla at your boy. So again, to me, man, hey, listen, I'm not going. Y'all know me. I ain't making no videos coming on here. Whatever the Falcons do, I'm not slamming the front office. And, man, we ain't never gonna win. No, because I feel like they've had a plan laid out from Jump Street. So with the new coach, with the new offensive coordinator, with the new defensive coordinator, you gotta give them their fair shot. But if we get Kirk Cousins, or see, some people have avoided being an absolute ass for a year, because before Russell Wilson got released, it was either Justin Fields or Kirk Cousins, and some of these guys and gals have talked reckless about both. So imagine one of them coming here. Boy, you talking about eating crow? They gonna have to eat the murder of crows. And I don't care what you put on it. Hot sauce, 1,000, you're gonna have to eat it. Or pray to the high heavens they get hurt so you can bring back in Desmond Ridder. But whether it be Justin Fields or whether it be Kirk Cousins, some people can't say a damn thing. Because if we win, what you gonna say? So you'd have to be praying that your own team loses, so you can come out and talk again. I told y'all he was a loser. Red Swarm says, so here is my next concern, Mark. Say we sign Kirk O'Chains. He is likely a 3-year solution. Do we go for our future QB in this year's crop, or wait on that and keep Ritter as our emergency plan? Here's the thing, man. Dez is going into his 3rd year. We got him for 4 years. Honestly, if you draft a quarterback, why even keep Dez? Because if you're drafting a quarterback, that's supposed to be the heir apparent to whatever quarterback we get. Not Dez. And if you're signing, let's say you sign Kirk, or you sign Justin Fields, or you sign Russell Wilson to 2 years. Well, that exceeds his rookie contract right there. So Ritter's probably going to be just a casualty because of where he's sitting in his contract. 3 Dirty says, eating crow while moonwalking. You know it. Millie says, Mark, the big question is, does Terry and he want to go veteran and do this again in 2 or 3 years, or go young now and grow with the kid? I would say go veteran now. Get the guy that you think has potential to carry this franchise. Either get him now or in the 2nd year. Me, honestly, if I'm thinking about it, I would low-key wait till the 2nd year. Actually, no, I take that back. I would try to draft him this year because I want him to get as much experience behind a veteran as possible. But if not, if there's still a contingent that believes that Desmond Ritter's got something and maybe he needs to sit behind something. Y'all remember when I said this last year, they roasted me for it. He's got the intangibles. He's got the arm. He never throws in double coverage. They roasted me for this. The kid need to sit his ass down behind somebody. But I'm a Desmond Ritter hater though. Okay, I got it. Kenneth, the big Desmond Ritter guy. Every comment is about Desmond Ritter. When they announced the guy Fontenot drafted, just wait when everyone finds out Ritter is our QB moving forward. He just came from Desmond Ritter's house, bro. Kenneth got Desmond Ritter wallpaper on his phone. He's got a video screensaver of Desmond Ritter throwing that pick. Kenneth, I tell you what. I make a proposition. I'm so positive Desmond Ritter is not going to be our starter next year. If he is. And I'm talking about our starter for next year moving forward. Like, not just the starter as far as placement. Like, let's say we get Kirk Cousins, but Kirk Cousins can't start the first week or two. I'm talking the season. Boy, I will cash app you $100. I will cash app you a hundo. I don't think this front office and this head coach got the nuts to do something that stupid. And here's the proof. They would have already did it. Country boy says, hey, Mark, I got the Miami Sharks on the phone and they want Desmond for Willie Beeman. Willie Beeman. Man, last time I heard, man, Willie Beeman doing movies now. I'd still take him, though. But Kenneth, that's the deal. That is the deal. If Atlanta announces Desmond Ridder will be the starter for the 2024 season moving forward, I will cash app you a hondo. I won't hesitate. I'll get on here. I'll say, what's your cash app? I'll send it while I'm in here. Oh, okay. Look at this. No confidence. Keep your money, but it's coming. Who's QB1 right now? I'm listening. Nobody. Ain't nobody QB1. We looking for him. You'll find out on the 11th who it is, though. And technically, he's not QB because he got benched. That final game of the season, he got benched. So you're even incorrect in that assessment, sir. Matter of fact, let me do this. Let me do this real quick. Boy, I'm about to have you punching air. I'm about to have you punching air, bruh. What that say right there? That's the depth chart. What that say right there? Kenneth, I'm just gonna let you read that. It's at the bottom. It's at the bottom, sir. Who they say? Who they say? That says Taylor Heineke, sir. So even by your own assessment, Desmond Ridder ain't even the QB1. He's the backup. We show receipts over here. I'm going to leave that up there for a second. He got benched the last game of the season. And the only reason he was in is because Taylor Heineke got hurt. Sir, you're talking about dated win. Fam, this is. Do you see what site this is? Atlanta. This is the Atlanta Falcons site. They don't have the 2024 depth chart because they haven't even set the roster yet. This roster is gonna change when the season starts. Whoever we get as our quarterback, they're gonna be right here. Logan Woodside's probably gone. Cordell Patterson, we already know he's gone. What you think they doing? Adjusting the They adjusting the roster in the offseason? Come on, bro. Stop that. Stop that. But even by your own assessment, he's the backup. He's not even the QB1. Let me take this shit off the screen. Zay says, I knew when we paid Taylor Heineke last year, that's when I had a feeling Ridder might not be good. Yeah, but man, you know what? Taylor didn't really, I mean, he had some good showings. We averaged 20 plus points when he started, but you know, it wasn't enough to get us over the hump. And then, you know, he had the injury. It looked like that injury lingered with him for the rest of the season. But yeah, I can't 100% say that Taylor had a great year too. It was some backup quarterback play. That's what I call it. Some backup. That was some backup right there. Your boy Kenneth, the head of the Desmond Ridder fan club, says it acts as though his benching by a horrible head coach OC matters. Seriously, come on. Kenneth, if I'm going to be honest with you, that's the only reason he was starting for so long is because that horrible head coach, offensive coordinator, believed in him. Had that been a stable head coach or offensive coordinator, he would have got benched a lot sooner. Devin says Kenneth still has that number 4 Ritter jersey and hasn't taken it off since 2022. It's all right, big dog. You'll find a new idol. All right, man. I believe Kenneth just be trolling, fam. I'm just gonna be 100. I think Kenneth comes from that other group trolling. Red Swarm says, man, come on, fam. You better than this. You better than this, Kenneth. But you know, we ain't gonna let you come over here and lie. We show receipts over here. But you felt mighty confident with that QB1 talk. Who QB1? Who quarterback 1 right now? And then I had to break his little heart. I ain't even want to do that. Well, Kenneth says, I don't even know how to troll. You're learning right now. You're on the job. And listen, personally, I want to see the kid succeed, but he got to get behind somebody for a minute. He got to get behind some. And I said that all last year. Boy ain't ready. But I'm being told that this is a franchise type quarterback. His numbers match Tom Brady's. He's on the same trajectory as Tom. I was hearing that type of bullshit. Like I can't see with my own eyes. Well, I've been watching football for so long, I don't remember a life when I wasn't watching football. I've seen guys like Desmond Ridder come in and get chewed the fuck up and spit out. I've also seen guys on the trajectory that Desmond Ridder is on right now have to be sit down for a number of years and then come back and they're actually a better quarterback than what they started off with. Geno Smith. But it takes some time. He's going to be on the backup tour for a while. And that's what it's going to take. There's nothing wrong with that. That's what it's going to take. Y'all act like I'm kicking this guy out the league and telling this boy he ought to be out there at a dealership selling 2024 Tahoes. No, he just got to get some tutelage because his vision, trash right now. Footwork, trash right now. Arm, suspect. Accuracy is suspect. He got legs, don't know how to use them. These are things that you see in guys that just ain't ready to play yet. And that's okay. That takes time on the bench. Abel says, what's good, Marcus? Can we get a bold prediction on free agency or the draft? Ooh. Man. If I had to make I'm gonna stick to my Kirk Cousins proposal. A bold prediction in the draft would be to go from 8 to 4 and get Marvin Harrison. That would be my bold prediction. Now, will that happen? I don't know. But that would be my bold prediction. Free agency, my bold prediction is Atlanta's coming out swinging. It's probably going to be better than last year's. I don't think they're going to mess around with this season. Because you see the landscape in the NFC, it's there for the taking. But I do definitely think it wouldn't surprise me if they get a quarterback and a wide receiver in free agency. Now we got to take Mike Evans off the board because he re-signed with the Bucks. But it wouldn't surprise me if they went after a quarterback and a wide receiver in free agency. It wouldn't. But somewhere they're going to make a splash for a big name as far as wide receiver goes. Millie Mill said, I called him Radiant Smart. Justin says, bold for draft, trade down to 12 and get another second and take Phoenix. Okay. Okay. I could actually see that. But we'll see. I think honestly, if they got a quarterback and a wide receiver in free agency, I would not mind this. I'm gonna have to sit on this for a second. I'm gonna have to sit on that one. Seth says, what would a Russell Wilson to Chicago look like? It will look interesting. Chicago does have some guys on defense. But then again, Chicago, they got a completely different offensive side of the ball from, coordinators, like everything is new over there. So honestly, I couldn't tell you how it would look on offense because I wouldn't know. I think, if Minnesota gets off of Russell and he had to choose between Chicago and Minnesota, he better choose Minnesota like it's nobody's business because he's got a receiver over there. He's got two. He's got Addison and he's got Jefferson. Now their run game. Who was the name of that boy that came on strong towards the end of the season? Madison didn't do it. Hold on, I got to pull up their depth chart now. But there was a let me see real quick. So running backs, they got Ty Chandler. They got Ty Chandler, Cam Akers, or Madison. I was talking about Madison. I don't see Madison on the depth chart anymore. But yeah, they got Justin Jefferson. They got Jordan Addison. KJ Osborne is who I was thinking of. He's not a running back, though, but he's a wide receiver. So they got a good wide receiving core. Then you got TJ Hawkinson, who he got hurt last year, but the boy's a stud. Offensively, it makes sense for him. Oh, they released Madison? Okay, good. Good. Skull says, if Cousins is a no-go, I wouldn't mind trading up the top 5 to maybe have a chance at Jaden Daniels. You know what? I don't think Atlanta's going to get that far. I think Atlanta's going to pick up a veteran. So I don't see a situation where they're trading up for a quarterback. I think they're going to get a quarterback from the 11th through the 13th. I think Atlanta's going to get their quarterback. If they miss out on Kirk Cousins or they don't get Kirk Cousins to commit on the 11th, you still got Russell Wilson out there. There'll be some people campaigning for him, and then there's always Justin Fields there. So I don't see a situation where they're going to trade up, especially if they already have a quarterback in tow. But, wilder things have happened. Kenneth says, just curious, Mark, last point of the day, who are all these QB coaches 19 for? That could be for the new guy coming in. Like I said, I think, if they keep Desmond Ridder on the roster, it helps him a lot because he didn't have a quarterback coach last year. So if he's on the roster next year, it's definitely going to help him being on the bench, having quarterback guys that have experience, quarterback coach, having a veteran presence. It's going to help Desmond Ridder. But I don't think they all came in because Desmond Ridder is going to be named the starter next year. No. No. Wallace says, Mark, it was Chandler that had that big running game against the Bengals late in the season. Yeah, because Madison didn't do anything, fam. Madison actually cost me a couple games in fantasy. I ain't even gonna lie. Millie says Cleveland might take him for the future because Buddy Watson about to become another cap hit. Listen, man, Cleveland's in bed with Deshaun Watson for the foreseeable future. They are in bed with him. I don't see Cleveland going anywhere though. They got a good defense. I will give them that. They're gonna get Nick Chubb back next year. I think that they took a hit with Chubb going out. And then Deshaun Watson was hurt for a lot of the season. And they still got to the playoffs with Joe Flacco. But I do not see them beating I don't see them beating Buffalo. I don't see them beating Baltimore. I don't see them beating Kansas City. And then we got to see what the Bengals do over there. Do they keep T over there? There's a lot of interest. Man, shit gonna hit the fan on the 11th. I'm telling you that, fam. By the time we get to free agency, there'll already be some massive moves that have already happened. Zay says, man, we didn't bring all them coaches to help Ridder. He ain't no damn Mahomes. Hell, they don't even have 19 people over there for Mahomes. But look at the system they set up for Mahomes. So when they drafted Mahomes didn't start immediately. Alex Smith was there. And Mahomes has credited Alex Smith as being a big part of his growth at quarterback. Even Patrick is giving the veteran major props. Man, that veteran tutelage means something, fam. And when you don't got it, you lost in space out there. Who you lean on for advice? Nobody. Skull says, me personally, I think Ridder has mad potential. He just needs someone as a backbone for him. What do you think? Yeah, Ridder has to have that. You know, all these intangibles people were telling me about, man, his footwork is trash. His vision is major trash. Your boy was throwing in double, sometimes triple coverage. Throwing the ball directly to the other team. He did that his rookie year too. He just got away with it a lot. But then again, you look at who was in front of him. Marcus Mariota, who tapped out once he got benched. Then who did he have as a crutch last year? Taylor Heineke, proverbial backup. So you need to put Ridder in a room with guys that have been there, done that. So those people that we have on staff, they're going. I said this early on, man, when he got benched. Desmond Ridder better soak up all the intel he can while being on the bench. That will help him tremendously. So if he's on the roster, it's definitely going to help him. And I hope it does. Because in a situation, I look at everything long term. Let's say we get a Kirk, a Justin, or a Russ. Let's say we 5-6 games in, 7 games in, and that guy gets hurt and he's called up. I want that boy to be ready. Because if we get the same quarterback play we got last year, we done. We done. Millie says, Detroit might snatch Penix too. Who said they committed to golf for the future? I'm just saying I don't see Penix making it to the second. Hell, we might say F it and take him at 8. I think golf is safe for right now. But I will agree with you. You know, it's always good to draft somebody early when your other guy is still hot, so they can learn. So in the situation where their contract is up or whatever the case may be, they get hurt, the guy can come in and make an impact. Strapped Up says, man, get Fields and draft a QB. With the 19 QB coaches we have on staff, has to learn something. Yeah, man. I think our quarterback room will definitely look a lot better than it has the last 2 years. Last 2 years has been atrocious. Absolutely atrocious. 330 says, I remember you were getting haymakers thrown at you when you gave your opinion on Ritter, but they didn't see you as you was rope-a-doping on him. Hey, man, I just called it how I saw it. You know, I listen, I don't praise any player out the box early, out the box, unless they're the absolute goods. When I saw CJ Stroud, I'm like, this boy the goods. Even when we beat him, CJ Stroud didn't have a bad game. And then CJ Stroud caught fire. Sometimes, man, you get a guy rookie season come out the box like that. It happens. I'm looking at Bijan Robinson. I'm like, Bijan gonna be a threat. I don't even think we even tapped into Bijan's full capabilities. And Bijan was still a dog last year. You would see sparks of greatness in Bijan last year. And you like, ooh, boy, hey, man. Hey, I know y'all saw that. Some players come out the box like that. Dez had tape on his box. So it's going to take a little bit. Zigzag said they might as well add Matt Ryan to the QB room. Hey, I wouldn't mind that. But, you know, Matt Ryan getting that TV money now. It's hard to let go of that TV money, fam. Once they get you in a booth, it's hard to get out of that. Look at what they had to pay Gruden to go back to coaching. Man, that's comfortable money right there. Kenneth says the PFF rated Tyler Algier higher than Is it Bijan or Dijon, bro? Which one is it? I think you disrespected him on purpose. Well, let's take a look. You might be telling the truth. Let's see. Oh, I'm not paying for none of this. You got to be out your goddamn mind. Well, they won't give me nothing but Drew Dahlman. Hey, get out of here. They got everything hidden behind the paywall, bro. Let's do it this way. Oh, they got it locked. Oh, okay, let me do this. Because you know your boy ain't paying Nathan. Okay, here we go. Give me a second, fam. Okay. He told the truth one time. So they got Tyler Algier 2023 player grade was 82. Yards, Jesus. Hold on, let me put this on the second screen. I'm gonna show this, fam. I just want to put it on another screen. All righty. So okay, let's look at the Tyler Algier first. All right, so this right here is Tyler Algier. You see how they got this shit on behind the paywall? I'm not paying for none of this. Why would I pay for rushing when I can literally pull that up? Like PFF on that bullshit right now. But it shows his overall was 82.6. Rushing, he had 186 carries. Why would you paywall this? And it's right here. Anyway, rushing yards, he was 683. Rushing touchdowns, he was at 4 yards per attempt, 3.7. Didn't fumble the ball all year. Okay, Tyler, I see you. Targets, 22. 18 receptions out of the 22 targets. Receiving yards, 193. Receiving touchdowns, 1. So he had 5 total touchdowns last year, which is not bad. Pretty decent. Now let's go over here to Bijan. Oh, matter of fact, before I do that, let's look at his rankings. So yards per carry is 3.7. That was tied for 49th. Rushing touchdowns, that was tied for 28th. Rushing yards, he was 33rd. Carries, he was 25th. All right. So let me get this off my screen real quick. Get out of here. And let's pull up Bijan. So this is Bijan. His grade was 69. He had 214 carries, 969 yards, 4 touchdowns. The same amount of touchdowns is Tyler Algier. Yards per attempt, 4.5. That was better. This is what killed him, and this is probably why he's down at a 69 overall. He had 4 fumbles. Tyler Algier didn't have 1. He had 4. If you look at the target, it ain't even close. 83 targets, 58 receptions, 487 yards, and he had 4 receiving touchdowns. So he had 3 more touchdowns than Tyler Algier, right? Now let's go look at this. In virtually every category, he was better. He was tied for 17th in yards a carry. Rushing touchdowns, he was tied for 28th. Rushing yards, he was 15th. In carries, he was 19th. So he was virtually rushing touchdowns. They were tied. They had the same. But he had more yards. He had more carries, and he had more rushing yards. What hit him was the fumbles. That's going to drop your grade significantly. So let's get that off my screen. But technically, you are right. He did have a higher PFF rating. But I think a lot of that is going to be better next year, both with Tyler and Bijan. Man, TA is a beast. TA is an absolute beast. Y'all been following me for a while. Y'all know how much I love Tyler Algier. That is a monster. But Bijan, if he can stay healthy and work on the receiving, I think the receiving game was his weakness last year. But my God, if this guy works on that, bro, it's a wrap. It is a wrap. Let's see. But technically, I will give you that, Kenneth. Technically, you're correct. Todd says, Mark, we're fixing to get a QB that's 36 years old, 45 million a year, that only has one leg. Well, right now he's got one leg, but so does Aaron Rodgers. So, and that other leg will get healthy. That's the only concern is will he be ready week 1? That's it. That's the only concern I got. Will he be healthy? I'm not really, honestly, I'm not worried about age unless your arm is shot. You look at Drew Brees, his arm was shot at the end. You look at Matt Ryan, well, pretty much the same thing. But if you can still throw that thing, hey, I'm good. Hell, how old was Tom Brady when he retired? 90? Keonis says, can anybody tell me if Ritter unfollowed us so I know it's real? Well, let's do this. Let's check. Because that's the first time I've heard of that. Oh. I don't know if that I can't take that as truth. I don't see anything. Sports Illustrated though has okay, let's read this. We'll read this and then we'll get up out of here, fam. And this was February 12th, so this was a while ago. Now let me preference this. Actually, hold on. I'm not even going to put this up. Hold on, I got to see where the source is. It said Sports Illustrated, but then Falcons report came up. Yeah, I'm not even going to put that up. You know, we like to dabble in facts here. I'm not going to put up anything up here that looks fishy. This does look. It says clearly it's a rumor, and it was February 12th. They got Ryan Tannehill as an option, along with Baker Mayfield. They have those as options. So I'm not going to put that up there. But I don't see anything about the unfollow, and I don't have X, so I couldn't really tell you. Yeah, I don't see anything. I see more about Justin Fields unfollowing that, than Desmond. But yeah, the only thing that I see is a tweet that says the Falcons' big three have all unfollowed Desmond Ritter. That's all I see. So anyway, fam, I'm gonna get up out of here, man. Whatever the Falcons plan to do, we will know. What's today, the 5th? So we're talking about 6 days, 6 to 8 days. We will know for sure where Atlanta's swinging. But to me, I'm with the shits no matter what happens, because we always standing on logo business round here. So with that being said, fam, your boy is up out of here, man. I hope y'all have a fantastic night and a fantastic rest of the week, man. We'll probably be back to maybe Saturday. I haven't forgot about the salary cap video. I haven't. So we'll probably tackle that Saturday, because I have time. I have time on my hands Saturday. And if any new developments happen, I'll jump back on here, man, and we'll chop up good game. So with that being said, fam, I enjoy everybody that was on here tonight. Everybody in the chat, y'all know y'all live as hell. I appreciate that. For people that come in a little later on, whether you're at work or whatever the case may be, hey, man, I appreciate y'all greatly. And we will be back Saturday. Peace.